Your Majesty, we are discovered.
Good.
I'm sure you already know that by the end of the month, Ridley Scott's releasing a 3-hour epic on Napoleon Bonaparte. And whether or not you think it looks good or not, the fact it's even being made at all is a bit more of a producing marvel than you might think. It might seem like making a Napoleon film would be pretty easy. He is one of the most famous humans on Earth, but for the past 50 years, it's been almost impossible for any filmmakers to make the Napoleon biopic. There was even a time where the world's most renowned filmmaker spent years trying to make a Napoleon biopic and led nowhere. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Stanley Kubrick is the director behind such films as A Clockwork Orange, Full Metal Jacket, The Shining, Doctor Strangelove, 2001: A Space Odyssey. His name is almost synonymous with filmmaking itself. Ask any film student who their favorite director is, and they're probably going to say Stanley Kubrick, thinking they're being clever. And if you Google any best filmmakers of all time list, his name is either going to be number one or pretty damn close to it. His name is that kind of legendary status that even people who haven't seen his movies are still defending him in internet threads as one of the greatest directors of all time. I can't tell you the amount of dickheads I've met who claim how inspired they are by Stanley Kubrick and then can't name anything about him. Some people even think CIA hired Stanley Kubrick to fake the moon landing. And just remember, those people's votes are worth the same as yours.
Why don't you swear on the Bible that you walked on the moon? You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself.
Away from me.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.
But anyway, this video is not about them. This video is about Stanley Kubrick and his long dedication to making a Napoleon movie. So first, let me set the mood. The year is 1968, and Stanley Kubrick's becoming a big name in Hollywood. He's already made 2 movies that are both critical and financial hits. This one especially is winning a lot of respect in an industry that really hasn't gotten it yet. Stanley Kubrick is looking for the next thing to impress people after 2001: A Space Odyssey, and he believes he's found it. A biographical film based on Napoleon Bonaparte. Full of revolution and battle, making a movie about Napoleon was not going to be low budget by any means. Not to say Kubrick didn't do his research for the film. It's almost a little scary just how detail-oriented and obsessive Kubrick's research was. But to give you one frame of reference, Kubrick had amassed over 15,000 location scouting photos. And I don't know how, but somehow Kubrick had convinced the Romanian army to contribute 50,000 soldiers to be extras in the film. Kubrick wanted every last detail of his movie to be as historically accurate as possible. Not just shooting at the original battle locations, but filming at the original palaces, the costumes, the weapons, you name it. Now real quick, before we go any further, let's talk about this script. There's an online version of the script that a lot of people are debating whether or not is the real deal. I mean, a lot of people have just been crediting it without source, and this guy even made an hour-long stage production of it on Audible that you can listen to. However, in the extravagant book made by Alison Castle and given the thumbs up by Kubrick's surviving family that everybody here should go read. And in this book actually includes the original script, and yeah, it's the one online. So yes, the script you saw online is legit, although it really does leave a lot to be desired. The script includes this weird narrator and a weird amount of sex scenes, including one with Josephine with the note maximum erotica. It's probably a first draft, so whether or not big changes would have been made before Kubrick started filming, we'll never know. So with that said, let's get back to the points we can confirm about the film. I've already mentioned the thousands of location scouting photos and the thousands of extras confirmed for the battle scenes. But the script includes mainly Napoleon's life as a general, as a consul, as an emperor, his exile to Elba, his later return to power, and then final exile in St. Helena. And other than the invasion of Russia, the film is weirdly absent of battle scenes you would expect, other than a few shots of the aftermath. Kubrick was also in talks with Jack Nicholson to play Napoleon and Audrey Hepburn to play Josephine. And just when everything's coming together, the other shoe drops. In 1970, Columbia Pictures releases Waterloo, a 3-hour Napoleon movie directed by Sergei Bondarchuk worldwide that hits a lot of the same notes that Kubrick was going for. True, it's only based on Napoleon's last year as an emperor, but it does feature large battle recreation featuring thousands of extras, large-scale cinematography, and a heavy attention to historical accuracy. But not only was Waterloo similar to the movie Kubrick was trying to make, but it was also a financial disaster, losing the company a lot of money. This became a bit of a cautionary tale for any investors with Kubrick. When one movie that looks like yours is currently bombing at the box office, why should yours be any different? Kubrick tried desperately to keep investors hooked, but studios smelled blood in the water and began to pull out. Kubrick started coming up with different ways to try to cut costs, trying to make the overall film work on a much smaller budget, but it was too little too late. Before long, Napoleon was a canceled project. Kubrick didn't let all that research go to waste, though. Many aspects Kubrick was planning for the film later went on to become Barry Lyndon, a film set in the same time that shoots at some of the same locations, and even uses some of the same camera techniques to make scenes only lit by candlelight look amazing. In fact, I've been using Barry Lyndon footage all throughout this video, and you probably didn't even notice it wasn't a Napoleon film. And also, it's come out recently that Steven Spielberg is making an HBO series using the script that Kubrick had planned so long ago. So hey, maybe this project's got a revival.